As retirement gets closer and closer for most of us, one question tends to sit in the back of your mind. Do I actually have enough? And for many people, that question never fully goes away. Hey, everybody, I'm Rob, and welcome to my channel. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the financial side of retirement. Something as a man in my late 50s, I'm thinking about more and more as the days go on. And I'm sure you probably are too. So I just wanted to offer some suggestions and some advice on what I'm thinking about, and maybe it might help you along the way as well. Just, this first part, we're going to look at the financial side of retirement um, without the stress and without hard numbers, because every situation is going to be a little bit different. But I just thought I'd throw some things out there that I've been thinking about over time. Obviously, when we're younger, retirement feels far away. Um, these days, as we get closer to retirement age, we start to panic a little bit. Do I have enough? Have I done enough to live comfortably or live satisfactorily in retirement and be able to enjoy my retirement without you know all the stress that comes with the financial aspect of it. um I think my first thing that I'm looking at is knowing where I stand, and that means understanding my savings, my income sources, and my expenses, both current and in the future. um I know you plan for a certain amount of years that you plan on being alive. Nobody can really guesstimate that. Um, but you try to look at everything that you have in an honest way without avoiding things. I think that's really important, is being able to see where you stand right now financially, what it's going to look like in a few years, or even maybe in a shorter time frame for some of you. And is that going to be sufficient to carry you through and to have an adequate retirement? Um, Clarity and being honest with yourself can open up some wounds. It can obviously expose some weak areas that you need to work on, or that may be less than ideal. But it's sure as heck important to be honest now than just guess wrong in the future. Um, Another thing that I'm looking at is my income versus my lifestyle, both how I'm living now, how I'd like to live when I retire, and whether or not I can get that done. And if I can't get that done, are some sacrifices that I'm willing to to make it more feasible. Retirement isn't just about your savings. It's about how you live and how you live now. I know people that I know around me that live very modest lives because, even though they make good money, they're planning for their retirement. So they want as much saved for that time period as possible. Now, everybody does it differently. Some people like to enjoy the money they're making in the now. Um, and some people make enough to do both. So it's your personal situation will be different than mine or someone else's, but it's important, I think, to look at how you're living now. Is it are there some cutbacks you can make that maybe might be able to store away some money for the future, or not? And it's important to just honestly look at where you're at. Small lifetime adjustments can make a big difference. I know sometimes when I add up, let's just say, um, a monthly service like a streaming service or something, you add up how many hundreds of dollars it costs you every month. Um, is it something you can cut out and not really miss? If it is, then go for it. Use that money, put that extra money in savings or something. There's a million different ways to do this, but the overall thing that I've learned is that, a lot of things that I considered small or insignificant expenses really add up after a while. And especially they add up if they're unnecessary. You're just basically giving away money. Um, as we get older, living within your means becomes, I think, more important than ever. At least for me, um, living a simpler life, cutting out some of the fat around the edges, so to speak, I think becomes paramount for me, going forward. Um, you know, will you should also look at your income streams, and that includes Social Security, pensions, your savings, any part-time work you plan on doing. Factor that in as well. They'll all add up to, you know, what you have, going forward as you retire. And again, just like making small changes cuts expenses, small additional income can create additional flexibility. So don't underestimate. I have a friend who retired not too long ago that works weekends at a golf course as a starter, and he doesn't make a whole lot of money, but it's a nice little income. He gets to hang out with the guys at the golf course, and so I mean it's quite enjoyable for him. He loves it. And then he gets paid on top of that. So for him as a new retiree, making a little bit of extra money, getting to hang around the golf course, on the weekends and stuff has really, really been a godsend for him. And so just little things like that, you know, I think make a big difference. Both for him, it makes a big difference in his overall mood and outlook on life because he gets to do something he really enjoys doing, and it creates a little bit of financial flexibility. So it's kind of a win-win for him. Um, and that's kind of the key is as we get older, we may retire from our job or our career. And so we kind of piecemeal things. We kind of have little hobbies or little things on the side, little hustles. And those little things add up. And especially if you have some supplemental income, you're getting your pension and you're getting Social Security. And this kind of, keeps you busy mentally and physically. And it also, adds to your piggy bank a little bit too. So it's, it's good to have those options. Our fear of retirement often comes from uncertainty. Developing a simple plan and facing that plan honestly and making changes where necessary can both reduce anxiety as you move forward, and it can instill confidence because you know where you stand. Retirement finances don't have to be perfect, but they do need to be understood. And that's something I've tried to learn more about as I get older. I didn't know much about how the ins and outs work, and I'm starting just now on that journey. Clarity, I've found, often brings more peace than having a perfect number. So what do you think? I'd love to hear how you feel in the comments below. And if you got anything out of this video, I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe and keep joining me for more material. Thanks. We'll see you soon.